Good morning, everybody. My name is Damon Jones. I'm a community stakeholder here in Mount Vernon. I'm also the New York representative of Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. And I'm standing here with different candidates for different positions locally here in Mount Vernon and Westchester County. And as our newspapers has been reporting, what most of us know about the political party leaders and bosses who control the Board of Elections and profit from those positions. This year's elections in Mount Vernon are not immune to corruption by this very institution. The Board of Elections that is supposed to ensure the fairness of elections and transparent process actually is using it in a corrupt manner. We distrust the Board of Elections and the political process in Westchester County. Republican commissioners of elections moonlight as campaign consultants. The Democrat Commission of Elections openly mocks primary process by trying to bully legitimate candidates out of participating in primaries, maintains his personal lifestyle with money from candidates and contributions in his own personal fund. Full-time senior employees of the Board of Elections directly responsible for the technical mechanisms of the elections do not even blush at receiving thousands of dollars in payments from candidates in pending elections. Board personnel arrange that official notices from boards will not be timely received by candidates. Board personnel refuses to deliver absentee ballots, duly designated agents of legitimate absentee voters. We also know in the signature election process, Reggie Lafayette, who is the commissioner of the Board of Elections, is on audio confessing that they were fraud in the signature process, but refused to take it to the authorities for proper investigation. So we ask why. We ask why would a man that is the city chair, he's also the commissioner of the Board of Election and also the Westchester County chairman, we do not have any recourse. Who do we go to for oversight of the election process? We hear people say Black Lives Matter, but here in Westchester we're saying every vote matters. So when you have a political process that is corrupt, it keeps the regular voters from actually electing the people that truly want to serve the community. Here we have with us Richard Thomas, who is a candidate for mayor of Mount Vernon, Andre Wallace, candidate for Mount Vernon City Council, Gila Farquharson, a candidate for Mount Vernon City Council, Janice Duarte, a candidate for Mount Vernon City Council, Diane Monroe, who supports this. I'm not sure if a representative from our office is here, but she supports, and she's a candidate for Mount Vernon City Council. Linda Morris, who is here, is a candidate for Mount Vernon City Court Judge, and Frank Strang, who is a candidate for Westchester County Surrogate Judge. And we will start with Richard Thomas, who's running for mayor of Mount Vernon.
Thanks. My remarks will be brief. We want, and our community has strived for far too long, over 50 years, to get and earn the right to vote, and to have a system by design have such challenges, particularly on the streets right now with the intimidation tactics that are going on. We look forward to having additional review of the process here in Mount Vernon, because there are some defined and definitive agency conflicts of interest that need to be worked out, or at least assessed, so that they don't continue to present a barrier for people to vote. So at the end of the day, we look forward to having a very vigorous discussion on this issue. We're hoping that a higher authority gets involved and takes a hard look at the process here in the city. And we just want to make sure that everybody goes out to vote, their vote is counted, and we don't have to worry about some agency conflicts getting in the way.
Thank you. Andre Wallace, who's a candidate for Mount Vernon City Council.
I'm going to make mine even briefer because Councilman Thomas has already explained that situation. We just want to make sure that everybody who wants to vote get a fair opportunity to vote. Voting is very important. We fought for this. We died for this. Grandfathers have been run over, sprayed by hoses, bitten by dogs. to give us the right to have this vote. So what we want to do is make sure that every vote counts, everybody gets an opportunity to vote, and that it's fair and nobody's turned away from the polls when the time comes. Thank you so much.
Dealer Ferguson, who's a candidate for Mount Vernon City Council.
Good afternoon. My name is Delia Farquharson, and I think it's really important in a community like ours, where there's a lot of distrust, where we need to promote faith in the system, that having oversight, having additional oversight of the process, can only be helpful. So I support the fact that we should have oversight, that we should have additional oversight, because it will only continue to promote healing and trust in the system in Mount Vernon. I think that's really critical. Thank you.
And we have Linda Morris for candidate for Mount Vernon City Judge.
Good morning. Judicial candidates can't make comments on any issues. So what I'll say is I'll ask that everyone come out and vote in the primary, have your voice heard, have your vote counted. Thank you.
Janice Duarte, who's running for Mount Vernon City Council.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It has been a common theme for some time now that we are concerned about the integrity and trust in our city government and our city officials. And that really begins with the power of the people and our right to vote. So I think it's very important that we maintain and preserve our right to vote, and that we preserve the process by which we guarantee that right. So this is a very important step and action that we are taking, and I hope that continued oversight preserves the process and preserves our rights for all of us. Thank you.
Frank String, who's a candidate for Westchester County Surrogate Judge.
Good morning. Judicial candidates cannot take political positions. I'm here to tell you, however, that one of the things that's important in my work is running a group called the New York Democratic Lawyers Council. For the last 10 years, we've been involved in election monitoring, advocating for voter rights. Election monitoring is something that's important and brings integrity and transparency to the process, which is so important to make sure that everyone's opportunity to vote is fairly given. Thank you.
And like I said, after this press conference, I am personally dropping off the complaint to the Department of Justice in the White Plains office with other material. We have signatures of dead people, we have falsified signatures, and the process of choosing our candidates is definitely flawed, and that's why we want an investigation and we want some type of oversight. Like I said, every vote should matter in Westchester, every vote should matter in Mount Vernon, so the people can actually have a say in who are their elected officials. Thank you, and if you have any questions.
Just one, is there any reason for anybody to believe that the system is not fair?
Well, I think I read off, these are actual incidents and complaints. That who do you go to when the people that are violating the process are the people that you complain about? I really don't even trust the AG's office because of the fact that Reggie Lafayette also sits on the state board. So how are we going to properly get any transparency in this process? So the only way to go is to ask the Southern State of New York District of U.S. Attorney's Office to look into this and see if our complaints are valid or not, and actually have an investigation. And that's what we're doing. This is not just a political. This is something that's been going on for years, and everybody has written about it, but nobody's done anything about it. So there's a time where enough is enough, and this is the point that we have, so we can actually change our city. Who endorses a mayor that's on probation? Let's be honest. Let's be honest about it. Who endorses a city council person that has DWIs that's still going to court for it? Let's be honest about what's going on. And who do you complain to? So you have to go to the Department of Justice and let Mr. Barrera make a decision. Are these things legal or not?
You gotta change the charge.
Thank you very much.